Corruption, it's destroying our way of life. Big business controls Congress, and then Congress passes laws that benefit big business at our expense. Congress's laws give our money away to big business via subsidies, or it lets it off the hook for trillions of dollars in taxes. That's our money. That's our children's money. And even more importantly, Congress allows big business to pollute our water, our towns. To stop this corruption, we need to stop big business from having so much influence in our elections. This video focuses on that influence, with the goal of understanding it so that we'll know exactly how to stop it. We'll wrap up with 4 action items. These action items can stop corporate influence, whether it's from SuperPACs or from corporate media. When I say corporate media, I mean both right-wing and left-wing. Did you know that corporate media and big business share board members? That the same guys running major corporations like Walmart, cigarette companies, banks are also running the media? Corporate media and big business are like partners. They share executives. Through the TV, these guys often tell us what to think, and sometimes what to do. This time they're telling us to do something that they say will stop corruption. Problem is that what they're asking us to do does just the opposite. It makes fighting corruption more difficult. Understanding what they're up to is not only interesting, but it even leads us to the real solution to our corruption problem. So corporate media is sort of a branch of big business. And it makes sense because when you turn on the news, you only see corrupt candidates. And this is really important because non-corrupt candidates will be invisible unless they spend money on ads. What if Congress passed a law to stop ads? You know, a law that says only corporate media can talk about candidates. Well, the Constitution would stop Congress. The First Amendment is clear. Congress shall make no law abridging the freedom of speech. Congress has the power to limit donations and transparency. There is nothing in the Constitution that limits Congress from regulating contributions and disclosures. But Congress does not have the power to limit speech. Since big business and corporate media share executives, it makes sense why big business would want a law that silences everyone except corporate media. But it's even more important for them now. Corporate media is losing its power. Remember when we all just watched TV? Corporate media used to have total control over everything we saw. It takes big money to buy a media corporation. Back then, big money had a monopoly on influence. Now with the internet, anyone can reach large audiences. All you need is a little bit of money to host a website or blog. Every year, more and more people are getting their news from small money. Fewer and fewer people are being influenced by big money. Big money does not want to lose their media monopoly, so they've found a way to get it back. It's called money doesn't equal speech. Money doesn't equal speech gives Congress the power to reinstate that media monopoly. Before I get into details, let me dedicate this to Martin Luther King Jr., who warned us to guard against being fooled by false slogans, because money doesn't equal speech is a very dangerous false slogan. Our speech rights include speech that costs money and speech that doesn't cost money. Speech that doesn't cost money is like talking to your neighbor or speaking in the town square. If you want to reach a lot of people, though, you need to spend a little bit of money. You know, like host a website or blog, or take out an ad. Right now, Congress does not have the power to limit speech, whether it costs money or not. Money doesn't equal speech amendments give Congress the power to limit speech that costs money, which takes away some of our rights. They changed the Constitution with words like, Congress shall have the power to regulate political expenditures. It gives Congress the power to choose who can speak to large audiences. Congress could choose to silence everyone except its buddy corporate media. And that's what Congress will probably do. Just look at Citizens United. The McCain-Feingold Act was a law that silenced all corporations, including nonprofits, while at the same time let corporate media have free rein. As Justice Kennedy pointed out, This law silenced nonprofits like the Sierra Club and towns. The McCain-Feingold Act gave corporate media a monopoly on voter influence. With Citizens United, the Supreme Court stopped that monopoly. It ruled that Congress does not have the power to block ads. Congress does not have the power to silence all organizations except its buddy corporate media. Citizens United was the nonprofit in that case, but that ruling secured the rights of all corporations, like the ACLU and NAACP. By the way, the American Civil Liberties Union supports the Citizens United decision. Supreme Court Justice Alito explained Citizens United this way: the question is whether speech that goes to the very heart of government should be limited to certain preferred corporations, namely media corporations. Surely the idea that the First Amendment protects only certain privileged voices should be disturbing to anybody who believes in free speech. So the Citizens United decision stopped Congress from giving corporate media a monopoly on voter influence. With money doesn't equal speech, they'll be able to reinstate that monopoly, but also extend it. It gives Congress the power to silence not just nonprofits, but also us, you and me. How can we possibly fix corruption if our corrupt Congress has the power to stop political speech? Money doesn't equal speech doesn't mean that those with money won't be speaking. It's about taking our rights away so that those who control Congress can decide who can speak. It's like saying, Congress is corrupt. Let's give it the power to silence us. Many people misunderstand Citizens United because of corporate media, and constitutional lawyers have gone on record to try to set this straight. But corporate media continues with their misinformation. You can read about it in this Atlantic article entitled "The New York Times Disingenuous Campaign Against Citizens United." It says, like Fox News, the New York Times has a First Amendment right to spread misinformation about important public issues, and it's exercising that right in its campaign against the Citizens United ruling. Corporate media can legally lie to us. Why do we have corruption? Because a democracy is ruled by the will of the people, and the will of the people is ruled by information. We have corruption because we get our information from the red and blue idiot boxes that share executives with big business, only show us corrupt candidates, and keep giving us bad advice. Corporate media is the most dangerous fake news because those who watch it believe. They believe without question. But more and more of us are slipping out of their grip. The tides are turning. We could win. And that's why they're so desperate to get their media monopoly back. Well, here are 4 things we can do to keep us on the right path. Number 1, do whatever you can to keep the internet free from governmental and corporate censorship. Number 2, look up and read about propaganda. That's surprisingly helpful. And always question the news. There'll be garbage out there, but there'll also be truth. Don't fall for the fake news campaign, where big money decides what's fake. If you do, you'll only see big money's fake news. It's just another method to get their media monopoly back. You decide what's fake. Don't let big money decide for you. Number 3, find new leaders. There are natural leaders in every community. We don't see them because we look to corporate media for leadership. Community leaders are the best bet because they share your environmental fate, and in many cases your economic fate as well. Also, it's easier to corrupt one big organization than many little ones. Perhaps you are a leader. If so, please help. Vet national and international news and become a news outlet for your community. You can do it independently or even better with a group. Publish your articles and discussions. This takes time and effort, so if you can't lead, please financially support those who do. News that's supported by advertising dollars isn't news. It's big money leadership. Our democracy needs locally based leadership, outlets that are produced and funded locally. Social media is where I share my thoughts and ideas, and I follow some pretty good people too. But we need to realize that consolidated social media servers are owned by big money. Those sites can legally silence and censor us. The Constitution does not protect us there because they are private. That censorship might not be bad now, but just think, a lot of big money goes into creating and maintaining those social media sites. It's not free. Their return on investment will be their new media monopoly. If I had to pick only one method to stop corruption, it would be to create or finance networks that are not controlled by big money. Networks where no censorship and no privacy violations were in the contract. Or even better, distributed networks like peer-to-peer, so that we could control the information ourselves. This is not just a problem with social media. Search engines and file-sharing sites also control what we see. We can beat big money. We can beat corruption if we take control over information. This could be online or close to home with your effort or with your wallet. If you know the enemy and know yourself, you need not fear. If you know neither the enemy nor yourself, you will succumb in every battle. Corruption is a war on the people, and with any war, we need to know the enemy. That's what this video is about, knowing the enemy. But it's just as important to know ourselves. And that leads us to number 4. Don't let corporate media divide us anymore. How do we do that? Make a mental image of who is on our team. We are young, we are old, we are women, we are men. We are black, we are white. We are all colors. We are atheists, we are religious. We are conservative, we are liberal. We have small paychecks, we have large paychecks. If you are not controlling Congress, you are one of us. We are many, and together we can win. Thank you for watching, and thank you in advance for your help with this cause. For your information, no one gave me money to make this video. I made it for us.
This is registered under Creative Commons, so you can upload and share. For more action items, check out my website, theanswerislocal.com. We can do this. We can stop corruption, but we need to take action now while the internet is still open.